Ogbanje! Ogbanje! Adaku shouted, calling her stepdaughter from the inside. Her 2 daughters were eating, and she wanted Ogbanje to get water for them. Ogbanje, a girl fast approaching womanhood, paid deaf ears to Adaku's call. Ogbanje, or Ada as she was fondly referred to by her father, was a light-skinned girl, taller for her age and down to earth. She was a very beautiful damsel that was greatly admired by the villagers. Her breasts stand firm on the wrapper she tied around her. Her hair were decorated with cowries. She continued doing what she was doing. Breaking the hard shell of palm kernel with her stone, she was going to use it to drink gari and maybe use the remaining ones to give it to her friend Ibuka. She started whistling a tune. Ogbanje, oh! Adaku shouted again. Ogbanje did not acknowledge her call. Adaku went outside the hut towards the back of the hut. There she saw Ogbanje breaking the kernel she had wanted to use for her children. That girl was always daring her. Ogbanje sensed the presence of Adaku behind her, but didn't stop. Neither did she turn. She walked briskly towards Ogbanje. Bia Ogbanje, are you now deaf that you didn't hear my calls? Adaku asked the girl, who doesn't seem scared of her outburst. Rather, she continued breaking the kernel. Am I not talking to you, Ogbanje? What is it, Adaku? If they want to drink water, the gods of this land gave them legs to do so. As you can see, I was busy before you started calling my name, Ogbanje said. Wonders will never cease to end. I knew it from the onset that you are a witch. No wonder you are called Ogbanje. How did you know it was water to give my children I was calling you for? I have said it, and I will say it again. You and the devil are related. I will report it to my husband when he has come back from farm. Adaku said, leaving Ogbanje to get water for her children. Ogbanje hissed, as if he is not my father also. Nai, I don't like the way Ogbanje used to talk to me in this house, I don't want to start my own before they will say Adaku has started. Warn your daughter for me. Adaku lay her complaint to Okoro that evening after she had prepared his favorite meal. What has Ada done again? And please, this should be the first and last time you will call Ada Ogbanje. She is the first daughter of this family. Her name is Ada, not Ogbanje. Ignoring what Okoro said, Adaku answered, I asked Ogbanje to get me 2 cups of water for Uzochi and Ugochi, but she refused and rather started calling me all sorts of names. Ada cannot do such a thing. I have trained her well enough for her to be disobedient, so maybe you offended her, prompting her to behave in such manners towards you, Okoro said. Adaku clapped her hands together. I said it. I knew you will support her father's supporter. I told you what that thing you call your Ada did to me today, and all you could say that she might have a reason for doing so. Where has Ogbanje sold your sense to? You had better tell me so that I will go there and bring it back before it gets out of hand. Adaku, no one sold my sense. I am her father and I always know what she can do. If you had told me it was Ugochi or Uzochi that did that to you, I would have believed you, but this is Ada you are talking about, and Ada cannot do such a thing. And now this matter has closed. Let me retire to my bed. My day at the farm was hectic and you are not helping one bit, Okoro said as he stood up and went inside the hut, leaving a fuming Adaku. Ogbanje, having heard their discussion about her and the turnaround for Adaku, she laughed to her heart. Adaku was in the midst of the village witches' coven when she lay her complaint to their O.G.B.A.N.J.E. Adaku, I have told you that that girl is no ordinary girl. A strong god is with her. She won't be defeated easily. Out of all the people in Udum, is it only Ogbanje you saw? But O.G.B.A.N.J.E, we all in this coven are strong enough to take down this god that is with her. Adaku protested. No, my powers are no match for him, O.G.B.A.N.J.E replied, then continued. Let us start this meeting. Nena, you do know you will sacrifice your son to the goddess of Aku wealth tonight? O.G.B.A.N.J.E asked one of the witches. Nena stood up from her sitting place and bowed before her queen. I know that O.G.B.A.N.J.E, Nena replied. O.G.B.A.N.J.E nodded her head and gave Nena a knife decorated with blood. She motioned to Nena to move closer and stand in front of her biggest mirror, almost as half of where they are. Now call your son name 4 times, and when he appeared, strike him in the place that would slowly kill him. Nena called her son's name 4 times and he appeared. She drove the knife towards the groin of her child. Ibuka, what is wrong with you since morning? You are not yourself, Ogbanje asked her best friend when they meet in their usual place. I don't know. Ooh, Ada, since this morning I have been experiencing pains down here. Ibuka pointed down towards his groin. You don't mean it, and you did not even bother to tell me, your friend, Ogbanje demanded. I am sorry, Ada. I was embarrassed, you know. Okay, wait here and don't go anywhere, Ogbanje said, holding one of her ears, showing she was serious. Ibuka nodded his head as Ogbanje left his presence, going towards the bush. Ogbanje went inside the bush and bent down to look at some leaves closely. When she was sure Ibuka wasn't watching, she opened her palm and a leaf appeared. She quickly stood to her height and dashed to meet Ibuka. Here is the leaf I went to search for you. Take it and eat it now in front of me, Ogbanje said as she gave the leaf to Ibuka, who ate it. Ibuka was surprised when the leaf tasted like udara. This leaf is sweet. Where did you get it from? Ibuka asked. I cannot tell you where I got it from, even if you roll yourself on the floor, Ogbanje said as if she knew his thoughts. Papa, I want to follow you to the farm tomorrow, Ogbanje told her father as she sat beside him on the floor to massage his feet. My first daughter, you can follow me to farm tomorrow. At least I need some helping hands, Okoro told Ogbanje, whose face radiant with smile. Thank you, Papa, Ogbanje thanked. Papa, me too. I want to follow you to the farm tomorrow. Uzochi chipped in, coming out of the hut to sit beside him, taking his hands to massage. She was an ebony black who took after her mother complexion. 3-2, Papa, I am tagging along, Ugochi said, smiling. She too was an ebony black. She also took Okoro's other hand to massage it. Mere looking at both girls, you would know that they were twins. The girls took after their mother's color. The only color you would see in the faint of the moon rays were Ogbanje's fairness. Her light skin were as light as her late mother, but her mother's light skin was nowhere near hers. Udum inhabitants had always wondered where she had gotten her so much light skin color from. After all, Okoro was as black as charcoal. Papa, tell us a story, Ugochi said. Yes, Papa, we love your stories so much. Tell us one so that we can sleep dreamfully tonight, Ogbanje said, also in support of what Ugochi said. Tell us another story of the creation again, Uzochi said. Okay, my dear beautiful daughters. Well, this story was told by my great-great-grandmother in her last days on earth, and now I am going to tell my beautiful daughters, Okoro said as he felt himself relax the more. Okay, Papa, we are all ears, Uzochi said for her sisters. Okoro cleared his throat to begin his story. Well, long time ago, many bushmen are very frightened of the rainbow. When they see its beautiful arch in the rain-washed air, they will beat 2 sticks together loudly and shout, go away, and do not burn us. This is because of the story of Rain and her son. It is told that Rain was once a beautiful woman who lived long ago in the sky. For a girdle, she wore a rainbow around her waist. Rain married the man who created the earth. He was called Flame. Together they had 3 beautiful daughters. Just like us, Papa, Uzochi said, interrupting her father. Ooh, Uzochi, who told you to interrupt Papa? Her twin Ugochi asked. Okoro cleared his throat, silencing any further argument. I will retire to bed if you don't keep quiet, Okoro warned. Sorry, Papa, the twins said in unison. When the eldest daughter grown up, she wished to leave home and visit the earth below. Her parents let her go, and once there, she fell in love and married a handsome hunter. While she was away, her mother Rain bore another child, a son, whom she named Ebubedike. When Ebubedike was old enough, his sisters begged their parents to let them also travel to see the world. But their mother Rain was afraid she would lose them all, and refused. However, an acquaintance, Hyena, had looked upon the 2 daughters and found them fair. Disguising his wicked heart, he said to the father, Pray let them go. It will be good for their education, and I myself will go with them to look after them. So the father gave them permission in spite of his wife's grief, and off they went, full of happiness. Soon after they had come down to earth, they came to a village where both good and bad people lived. A woman passing by stared hard at Ebubedike and said, How can this be? This boy has my mother's eyebrows. She offered them food, but Hyena did not give any to Ebubedike, saying, He is not a person, he is just a thing. Ebubedike turned away angrily, but the daughters ate while sitting by himself in the long grass. The boy caught a beautiful red bird which fluttered past him and concealed it under his cloak. That night the woman offered them the shelter of her house. For you cannot lie in the dark, beautiful girls, and boy with my mother's eyebrows." However, Hyena would not let the boy into the house, but made him sleep by himself in a tiny little hut. Hyena wanted to steal the two fair sisters while the boy was not there. After dark, Hyena went and fetched some of the bad people from the village, and they set fire to the hut and burned it down with the boy inside. But as the roof fell in, a lovely red bird flew up into the night. Up it flew, straight to the boy's mother, Rain. "Ebuka is dead. He perished in the fire, and his sisters could not help him," sang the bird. "Do you hear what the bird sings?" asked Rain of her husband. "You, whose name is Flame, what will you do now that they have killed our son?" A little while later, the good and bad people in the village observed a great black storm cloud approaching fast, and around its middle was a rainbow. Suddenly lightning flashed wildly from the cloud, striking here and there. It singled out Hyena and all the bad people and struck them dead. A mighty voice roared out of the cloud, "Do not ever again kill the children of the sky." And ever since then, the bushman has feared the rainbow and throws stones at hyenas. "Wow, Papa, what a beautiful story. I'm sure to remember every details when I tell Ibuka this story," Ogbanje said, already thinking of the story. "Me too, Papa, I will tell my friends," Uzochi said. "3 too, Papa." "Well, let us go to sleep. The knight has eaten his supper and has gone to sleep. Now it is now left of us to follow suit," Okoro said as he stood up from his wooden stool and went inside to join a sleeping Adaku in their bamboo bed. He made sure his daughters were safely in their room, and the outer door of the hut was securely locked. "Nena, how come your son Ibuka isn't dead yet?" Izen-Wayi bellowed in anger. "Izen-Wayi and my fellow witches, you all saw that I struck his scrotum with the knife of death, which is deadly. How can I heal my son when I don't even have the powers to stop the deadly sword of death?" Nena spoke out. Izen-Wayi saw meaning to her words. "Then who had the audacity, the powers to heal him? By now I should have heard sorrows in your household, but the boy look unhurt." "I am as confused as you are, Izen-Wayi," Nena said. "Well, I am sending the shadow of death to him tonight to end him in his sleep," Izen-Wayi said, as she started conjuring incarnation. Back in Ogbanje room, her eyes fluttered open. Something is wrong, she felt. No, she sensed a shadow sent to destroy Ibuka. She quickly stood up from her bed, opened her room window and leapt out quietly. She then proceeded towards the direction of Ibuka's hut. She wasn't scared of the dark. She saw her way perfectly towards the hut of Ibuka. When she got there, she was breathless. She finally stood at the front of the hut awaiting the presence of the shadow which she sensed close by.